Good morning, Pittsburgh, and welcome to the Standing Commission meeting for the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. My name is Lori Beth Jones. My pronouns are she, hers, and I am the co-chair of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. We will start our meeting today, as ever, with our introductions, which, as ever, go directly to my co-chair, Christopher Mitchell.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Mitchell. I'm an anti-litter specialist at the City of Pittsburgh Department of Public Works, and I am co-chair along with Lori, and we'll go to the next person down my list, which is Sarah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Shea. I'm Deputy Director at the Pennsylvania Resources Council. My pronouns are she, her. Our offices are located in the north side. I'm located a little outside the city in Emsworth. And that's about it. I'll move it over to Omo.
Hey, hi, my name is Amaye. Excuse me. I am recycling / environmental enforcement specialist with the City of Pittsburgh Environmental Services. I use she, her pronouns, and I live in East Liberty now. Woohoo! I will popcorn to Myrna.
Good morning. I'm Myrna Newman. I'm the Executive Director of Allegheny Cleanways. My pronouns are she, her, and I live in Polish Hill. And I will pass it to Kelsey.
Morning, I'm Kelsey Ripper. I'm the Executive Director at Friends of the Riverfront. I'm a resident of Lawrenceville. My pronouns are she, her, and I think that's it. And I'll pass it to Sanjeev. Or maybe Giselle until Sanjeev comes back.
Okay, maybe Giselle and Sanjeev we're very happy to have with us and who are confirmed commission members. There we go. Sanjeev, do you want to say hi to the nice people? Giselle's hand is up. I'm not actually the host of this meeting, so I can't really do anything with that, but I'm glad you're all here. Let's be real. If I was the host of this meeting, I wouldn't know what buttons to push anyway, so it's fine. We're also very pleased to have with us today Kayla Seifert from the Humane, I'm going to say this wrong, Humane Action Pittsburgh. So we will have, some discussion with Kayla in a moment too. I think we're good. Everybody's good.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I had my microphone on the wrong setting somehow, but hi, I'm here. I'm Kayla. I'm from Humane Action Pittsburgh. Happy to be able to join. This is the second meeting I've been on, so glad to be here.
Thank you. And I want to welcome to our commission secretary, Erica Young, who has just been able to join us as well. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to make sure everybody has seen the agenda for this meeting today. I guess I could have already been doing that. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to leave that up there while I read to you for story time from the Clean Pittsburgh Commission bylaws. We like to remind ourselves and our citywide guests on the YouTube channel of our mission and purpose and so on and so forth. From our values statement, the Clean Pittsburgh Commission values community engagement and believes that the best approach to neighborhood improvement is always directed by the people living in that neighborhood. So I want to thank everyone who worked on that, and the commission, of course, keep it. Yes.
Oh my God, ha! It works. I'm so sorry. I was desperately trying to figure out why I couldn't unmute. My apologies for interrupting.
We're glad to have you and to hear you. So here is our agenda for today, which of course was switched up just a little bit at the last minute here. I know possibly some of you were expecting to see Mayor Gainey with us today. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule that meeting, and that information will go out to the commission as soon as it is available. So here is our agenda for today. If anyone would like to put forth a motion to approve so that we can continue.
I'll approve.
Thank you, Omie. I'll second. I never get to second anything. And so that will put us directly. I had a big Zoom update yesterday, so I don't know if that's helping us all with some of our audio problems, which is I might stick my foot in here to ask Erica if she is able to move on to, if we have some minutes and so on to approve, or just with a short update would be fine if we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I always have audio issues, so I don't think you're alone there, Lori Beth or Giselle. So you're in good company. The agenda. So I sent out the June meeting minutes after following that meeting in June. I think I can pull them up here on my computer to share them. We did not have a July meeting, and I was not in attendance at the August meeting. So I will take a look at the recording of that meeting and compile the minutes for our October meeting.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull up these minutes here. Sorry, my files. I've just moved over to an external, and I'm hard time at finding where some of my stuff is. Here, check my emails. Lori Beth, in the interest of everyone's time, can I either will follow up with this at the end of the meeting and I'll have a chance to look at them, or I will send them out for everyone to review post meeting.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I was trying to get them out of my email too, and it wasn't as expedient as I would like it to be. So fun. Technology, woo. Well, that puts us firmly into our next item, which is the Humane Action Pittsburgh campaign. Woo! So thank you so much, Kayla, for being here with us today. And Chris are going to, we're going to talk about that.
I'll start us off real quickly. So we had been talking to Humane Action Pittsburgh just in the realm of anti-litter for a while. We had offered up some space that we knew that we had for free on the side of our bus shelters that we could put ads up to remind people about proper waste storage to make sure that local wildlife is not affected. And in doing that, they came up with a campaign that they wanted to get us as the Clean Pittsburgh Commission on board for the larger side of the bus ads. So we do have some room to talk about that in the budget and finance section of our commission meeting later on today, in this same meeting, I should say. And so she's going to prepare or show us what they have prepared and what we would be spending those funds on and how that directly correlates to our mission as the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. So I'll turn it over to Kayla now.
Sure, yeah. So jumping into this, just as a disclosure, I'm not the person on the team who leads this campaign, but happy to talk about it. So we have put together our campaign, Love Your Wild Neighbor, and this really ties together both trying to protect our wildlife and also trying to reduce pollution and litter within our city limits. So we came to realize over the years of studying this issue that Pittsburgh unfortunately has one of the worst wildlife trapping policies, unfortunately, for a city of our size. This is just due to mostly a state regulation that requires for rabies vector species. So thinking of groundhogs, skunks, raccoons, anytime they are trapped, they by the city, they must be euthanized, whether they are healthy or not. They are not just released somewhere else. They have to be euthanized. And so, of course, a lot of city residents are calling resources such as 311 whenever they have these wild animals on their property. And most of the time it has to do with getting into their trash or getting into debris that is on their property. They call, the city is able to provide service for that, and they're able to provide free trap. But anytime they do that, the animals are getting euthanized unnecessarily. So we have started a public campaign to try to help mitigate this, because unfortunately it really is a state legislative issue that is a really uphill battle to try to change that. So we really want to start with the education piece, because it can be a really big win-win for both protecting animals and for helping to reduce litter and keep our city cleaner. So as I said, the main reason a lot of the animals are getting into this garbage is due to the fact that, or the main reason people are calling about these animals is because they are getting into garbage that people have on their properties. They're putting garbage cans out. And most of the time, this is as simple of a solution as putting secure lids on people's garbage cans. It sounds really simple, but this truly is the main reason why people are having these problems, the main reason, a big contributor to seeing trash all over the city, and then ultimately a big reason why these animals are being unnecessarily euthanized. So we want to start this public campaign to be able to just teach people, hey, just secure your garbage, and we have other resources to help people with trying to stop the problem of getting wild animals on their property. And then we are solving both of these problems. So, trying to mitigate this in a few ways. One, we created a website resource called loveyourwildneighbor.org, where people are able to go on that website. There's a list of all of the different kinds of wildlife they might be having an issue with. And there are a lot of ways that we list for people to humanely deal with these wildlife, because ultimately what it comes down to is that you can get a trap and you can get these animals removed off of your property. But if you're not taking the correct measures, such as securing your garbage, you're not going to stop the problem. The animals are going to keep coming back. These homeowners are going to still have the same problems. And ultimately, we're going to be seeing more litter everywhere as the animals are making a mess. It's not solving anything. So we're really trying to help people to be able to get to the root of the problem, whether it be the garbage cans, whether it be filling a hole in the wall of their house, if they're getting animals in that way, trying to cover a vast array of different issues there. So as you'll see, Chris brought up our proposal here that we would love to be able to educate people right to the source and getting in front of people's eyes with this information, because a lot of them just don't know that our group exists. They're not seeking out Humane Action Pittsburgh. So we need to be able to find an effective way to get to the people, especially people who reside in the city of Pittsburgh limits, because this is where we have the problem. This is where we have this specific trapping policy. So we have been working with our media partner that is called M Media out of Steubenville, and we are proposing to place some ads on bus shelters throughout the city. So these are what those ads would look like. Just kind of, we have this cute mascot, our Hap the raccoon. He's been in some online commercial ads that we've played as well on YouTube videos and the like. So he's gotten to be a little bit well known, and of course using some of the Pittsburgh geese. So trying to get it, cute and straight to the point, and really getting people's attention to just, raise awareness for what seems like a small issue that really adds up to a number of problems, and being able to solve a myriad of problems that we're facing here. So as you'll see, there's a lot more information that you're seeing on your screen here. This is the proposal that we have. I believe that a vote is coming forth, whether in this meeting or maybe later, but I'm happy to answer any and all questions that anybody has. I'm happy to also take anything back to our team if anybody has feedback or any other questions that I'm not able to answer. So I think I've kind of covered the most of it, but Chris, if there's anything glaring that I'm missing, please just let me know. Oh, I think you're on mute, Chris.
I'll never learn, I swear. Yeah, I think that that's a great roundup of why this is important. You know, we know the myriad of ways that trash can affect so many other things that I think this commission hasn't really gotten into, how it affects animals a whole lot. And so that definitely falls within something we can do something about. So Amie was telling me this morning she has seen some of these ads already in those free spaces. So it is out there. We just want the really big ones as well, because that's really the eye-catching one that you can see as you're driving past. So we are going to be asking to see if we have $1,000 out of this year's budget to help support this ad. We would also be listed on the ad as a sponsor, a partner, something like that. You can see our logo there at the bottom. But we'll open it up for any questions or concerns or things that people would like to see in this. You're also allowed to pipe up and just say you love it.
I'm open to any and all feedback. Don't be shy.
All right, I guess that just leaves it up to us to vote on that during the finance section. So thank you so much for coming by today, Kayla. Really appreciate it. And if there are any questions that come up, we'll be in touch.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for the update and the follow-up. It is actually, according to our agenda, time for the finance o'clock section. If Sarah would like to be in charge of that as our financial treasurer.
Co with Afton. Afton is half of the team. We had a really great meeting with, and I'm gonna forget his name now that we had the meeting with him, to really go over
Donald Mudrick.
Is it Don? You said Don
Mudrick.
Murdick?
Yeah.
It was very eye-opening, I think, and helpful for us to kind of determine the ways that the processes and the ways to spend money. And I think we've had some confusion and maybe overcomplicated it. At least that's the thought. So we have kind of a nice budget process set up now. We have forms that we can fill out, and we just need to kind of test those waters. Looking at our budget, really not much. I can't share my screen with this. Okay. Share. Not really much has changed, I think, since the last meeting. A couple of the things that we can talk about is one, voting on the $1,000 for Humane Action Pittsburgh, if we're voting on the supplies for Friends of the Riverfront, and then looking at, we did approve the $10,000 for the city steps work. One of the concerns that, we had was kind of, as it's already into September, the idea that it's really going to be able to come to fruition by the end of the year, it would be pretty difficult for all involved to kind of get a plan together. But, in talking, it sounds like what we can do, since it's been approved by the commission, work to encumber that $10,000 and have that roll over. So it would be set aside for work on this kind of neighborhood city steps work, but it wouldn't need to be spent by the end of this year. Would just, I think, give the commission and those involved a little more time to flesh it out a little bit better, versus trying to kind of feel rushed to try and spend it, or for us to try and say, oh, okay, we're going to find something else. I think this commission seemed to all agree, that it was something worth funding. So I don't know if that's something that wants to also go to vote to see if we're comfortable with working through the process to encumber those funds through next year. But that's pretty much it. One question I did have, Chris, was the Garbage Olympics, $2,000. Did we, I don't remember how that was. Did we have an invoice for that? Was that paid by P card? Are you aware? I just wanted to know if it should be marked off that it, we've received an invoice and it's been, the supplies have been purchased or not.
It was purchased through our warehouse, so we should have a PO number and things like
Okay.
that for that. So that has been, should be paid for through the purchase order. It did come directly out of our account there.
Okay.
Another thing I did want to bring up today on the Garbage Olympics is that we're a little short on fundraising for the Garbage Olympics, so we're coming up against a deadline. So I would like to ask for an additional $1,000 to cover our food expenses on that. We did find out in our meeting with Don Mudrick that we had funds left over from last year. So we had that previously taken out of this year's 30,000, and we were worried that that was going to, last year's funds were going to harm us, but we did actually encumber some of that. So in the full amount of what we had was closer to 38,000, including the encumbered. So we are not as tight as we had originally believed we were when we went in to meet with Donald. So I was very thankful for him to walk us through some of that, and we learned a lot.
I don't know if anybody has any questions or if anybody wants to do a motion for any of these additional expenditures. And I can
Yes.
stop sharing.
Well, we were on behalf of our coworker who's working on bag ban stuff. He had asked us to see if we could support some of the initiatives that he's putting forth through reusable containers for takeout, replacing the plastic bag use. He had asked for around $1,000. I think Tobias had been on our call previously, so most of you guys have met him and know about his work. He's probably seen it everywhere, right? So that's another ask that I would like to put forward, and I can give more context. He sent an email with a write-up, so I can quote some of that. But yeah, that's another ask for $1,000.
So that total at the bottom of the spreadsheet there, is that including the things that we have from last year that we were still trying to pay out?
Yeah, it includes everything here
Mhm.
that's listed here. So all of these approved and almost approved or not yet approved. This is what the total would total up to. So we'd still be under 38, even if we added another 1,000. I would love to, I'm sure the commission would be happy to support any stuff towards supporting, reduction of the plastic. If there's more information you can share. I don't know, would you guys want to first approve the ones that have already been described? Like we can go through the Humane Action, start there, I know we've already had a discussion last month about supporting Friends of the Riverfront with some paint supplies for the color park, the additional Garbage Olympics funds, and then we can move to ask Omo to give us a little more description. Does that work?
Or is Tobias around? Can we have him jump in real quick and just talk about his ask?
Let me just go see if he's around. Give me a moment.
Because I was just going to say we can invite him back next month, but he's like on the other side of my wall. So like,
well, even true. If Omo has details, or if we also want to send out information, we can do an online vote to approve that too, if that works as well. And we had talked to at the previous meeting to have individual line items be individual motions, since there are some representatives on the commission that are tied to some of these, that they want to make sure that they're able to, vote on those, but abstain from other votes. So just putting that out there too.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Here's two for you. If he's not there. I don't know if it's too short. You can see.
There we go. Hey guys, good to see you again. Sorry for the last minute butt in. Yeah, just wanted to bring up the possibility of putting aside some funding for reusable bags. We still do not have any other funding sources, and one of the kind of main concerns that we're getting from the public since publicizing the upcoming ban a little bit more is whether or not reusable bags will be available. And we are intending to, create a system for being able to donate used bags and make those available, but would like to have some other bags available as well. So even $1,000 would probably be able to get us between 300 and 500 quality bags, which I think would be a great start and is in line with what some other cities have provided at the start of these sort of programs. But if there's more available, we would obviously make use of whatever is there. Thanks so much.
Do you have any? Do you know where you'd be ordering these bags from yet? Or
so there's I can share that. I shared that with Amie, but there's a couple different vendors that I looked at. Some were I looked at an assortment of different types. So I looked at like Bagu and Chico bags, which are both definitely more expensive, and they're the either polyester or nylon bags that are more similar in size and style to like a traditional grocery bag. And those are for the amount that we'd be getting are more in like the $4 to $6 range. So we'd probably be able to get maybe between 200 and 400 with $1,000 to $200. And then I looked at both custom earth promos and don't remember the other one off the top of my head. And that was just more of the, similar style to the one that you might find at Trader Joe's reusable, as well as then a cotton tote. And those were more, $1.75 to $2.15 per bag. So, could probably double the amount of bags that we had with one of those options.
is there going to be any kind of like words on them, or are they all going to be very plain? What do you think?
My initial idea was mostly just to keep them plain, to keep the costs down. And yeah, I mean, I'm open to adding some words, but at this point, it was mostly just being able to get something to have available to people. I know there had been some talks that the city was going to make bags available for purchase through that new partnership with Commonwealth Press, but haven't heard any updates on whether or not those are available among the other stuff. So, and those will be branded with city stuff.
Guys, there's a woman, and this is probably more of a donation question, and I can email you separately, but there was a woman that whose son died in an avalanche. He was an avid environmentalist, and as a way to remember him, she has these bags. There's a little insert in them that tells a little bit about him and a little bit about why to use bags like this, the issue with plastic and all of that. We probably have 500 of them that we could give you. But I don't know if you would want something like that kind of does have branding, has a specific story.
Yeah, I mean, I would welcome stuff like that too. And that doesn't even necessarily have to come from us. Part of the reason why we're not looking to buy, say, 10,000 is because we anticipate that certainly stores are going to make these available either for free, some for free, or, for cheap, and then see it as an opportunity for, even other departments within the city or other local orders, like some of the ones on this call, to be able to provide similar stuff there, and don't want to just flood, have 10,000 that we then don't have any to give with or to distribute. So yeah, would welcome any sort of additional donation or distribution like that, whether that's in, partnership with us or independent, would be great.
Okay. So just reach out to you about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Thanks.
Cool. All right.
Makes sense.
Hope he answered all your questions.
Yeah, I know we have talked in the past about supporting the bag ban by throwing giving some of our funds towards it. So this is a great first step that we can move on quickly, where we don't have to worry about design too much. We don't have to worry about what's it going to say. It's more important that the bags just get in the hands as what rolls out next month, October. It's coming up. So I'd be happy to vote for that myself. So if we can start going through what we have on our lists and vote, if anybody thinks we need any more information about the things we are voting on right now, we can have that conversation. What's the items we have available for voting right now?
So right now, the first is the Humane Action Pittsburgh, providing $1,000 towards the cost of signage. Would be the first. I don't know if anybody.
I think even with an abstention, we have plenty of folks here for a quorum and to go ahead and vote. So all in favor of approving the Humane Action Pittsburgh $1,000 item, please raise your internet hand or your alive hand. And I, we've got it all. Okay. Any opposed, the motion will carry regardless, so that we can mark as approved by the commission as of September 14th, 2023. I believe the next item, I should let Sarah say the next item. I think it's just the garbage Olympics.
There's $1,000 for the garbage Olympics. Before that, why don't we do to the Friends of the Riverfront? It was $1,500 for supplies, just because that was already on our list. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Kelsey's on the call for that. I know you spoke about it last meeting.
Can I get a brief overview? I think I might have been absent. I probably was moving. I'm not sure what was happening, but can you get a brief overview, Kelsey?
Sure. Yeah. So this is for the Color Park. And we, Friends of the Riverfront, created the Color Park in the South Side near South 4th Street in 2017. And with the artist Baron Batch, we refreshed it. It's gotten pretty out of control in the last couple of years. And so we're just pushing the boundaries back and really defining those boundaries. And so, because it's really spread out along the trail and outside of the trail. And so we've been doing lots of volunteer work just to cover the graffiti outside of the park. And we've spent a lot of money on paint and painting supplies. And we're coordinating our efforts with DPW and the URA as well. So it's and Southside Community Council and the councilman's office as well. So everyone's on the same page with it. And so this would go towards paint supplies and paint.
Thank you. Shall we vote?
I think any other questions? I'll motion to approve $1,500 for Friends of the Riverfront for the Color Park supplies.
I'll second.
And so then we'll move to a vote, a visual verbal vote. All in favor, please say aye. With Kelsey as a recorded abstention, as that's a direct conflict, but we're all really good at that. It goes into the record. So, and any opposed, the motion will visibly carry regardless. Okay, I'm not gonna guess what's the next one.
The garbage Olympics, yeah, the extra $1,000 to support the refreshments for the volunteers, is that would go towards that.
I will move to vote to approve.
Second.
All right, so all in favor for an additional $1,000? We all know costs have increased. This is right in line with what we've spent over time here. So any opposed? The motion will visibly carry regardless. Thank you, everyone.
And I think the last one is the reusable bags. I don't know that we need to necessarily make a motion to encumber the $10,000. I'm not sure if that's, if somebody else knows. Like we've already approved that money. It might, if it's just more procedural to talk with finance to encumber it, but I'm open to
10,000 is
if
for
anybody
the
knows more
steps,
than I
not
do about
bags.
that.
We can't hear you, Chris. You are unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? No?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Shout.
I will talk loudly. The 10,000 is for the steps project, not reusable bags.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that no matter what, I think we want to encumber that because it will be a larger one. Did you say we already voted for it? Yes or no?
We have already approved the funding on June 8th. We approved that. I was just curious do we need to actually have a vote that we're going to encumber it and not spend it this year, or is that not, that might be overkill because we've already approved the money.
I think that's fine.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. So the last then and the only thing remaining is the reusable bags, the $1,000. I would be just curious. I don't know that I personally don't need it to make approval, but would be curious to see the types of bags that they're looking to purchase, just out of, maybe it's more curiosity and decision making. I'm sure that you guys they have put a lot of time and effort into researching the types of bags that they have. But that's just more of an interest level.
As soon as they are ordered, I'll have Tobias join us on a next meeting and talk about here's the bags, what their distribution plan for them are, because I think we're all in this business going to be getting questions. So like having him
That's a good point.
join us as much as possible and let everybody here know what's going on will help disseminate that. But I think I'd be ready to vote on it, and we'll just keep up with what's going on with that money as much as possible.
Is there any way, I mean, to Sarah's point, and again, I don't really have a lot of skin in this game, but we're doing this for a reason. Like we're doing the bag ban, we're doing the bag distribution. It feels that there are some bags that are better than others, just to put it out there, you know, that are, should we make any kind of statement of like, this is $1,000 to, with these stipulations? I don't know. Like I no, again, not major skin in this. I'm just,
would it be too delayed if the commission was just sent out the information on the types of bags and then we could put it to a email vote? At least then members would have that information. And we could, I'm sure, do, I don't know if there's specific things in our bylaws as like timing for, but I'm sure we could get that information and get a vote in the next like week. I know it's timeline's shorter, but at least then members would have that information, which I don't think would be unreasonable.
I'll ask Tobias to share what the ones they're looking at, and we can look at those and have a vote. And even in that, say we'd prefer X, you know, we prefer these ones for these reasons, because I don't know what the stipulations would be right now, right? I mean, that's a good point. I don't know the questions to ask, but having the information of here's the ones that we're looking at would give us a better clue, and we'll have an email vote on that one. I'm fine with that.
And Chris, when you talk to Tobias, would you just, I'm just curious if there's been any like conversations with people about what bags they would prefer, and just like, would they carry this bag with them? Because that's really what it
Another-
should come down to. It's like, is it convenient to carry with someone?
And also durable enough for use. Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of different types out there. So making sure we're getting the best bang for our buck makes sense.
And
Are
it
we
is
still, oh, sorry.
it is a fairly controversial thing. Like bag that has come up in other places, and yeah, bags are fraught with controversy and again, I'm not suggesting that we don't support that. I actually think we should support the purchase of the bag. So I just want to state that. I guess that's why what I meant by I don't have skin in this game. I do actually have some skin in this because I'd like to see the best bags be, us being the most responsible that we can be. And I think that is important. But I do think I could with clear conscience vote on using some of our budget money for the purchase of the bags. I just want to make sure that, we do the best that we can with what we purchase.
Yeah, I think no matter what, we would definitely want to give money to this. This is something that's in all our interests. So the $1,000 is not in contention. It is just making sure that it aligns with our goals. I totally agree with that. I actually already have an email here from Tobias with some of the information on that. So he got that to me as soon as he stepped away from the computer, it looks like. So I will share this information with everybody, and we can make our recommendations to Tobias, but I think we'd also have enough information to go ahead and vote on it today too.
Omiye, I see your hand up too. And then
Yes, it's been up for a while, but that's okay.
sorry.
He had sent those numbers over, and I was just curious, like, if we do come to a consensus, are we willing to update the amount of money we're contributing? Because that really, on a higher quality bag, like, the Bagu and the other Chico, I think it's called, like, those are, packable, and you could put them somewhere. And, I probably, I carry one or two around sometimes, and they're just easier. So like, if we gave him $1,000 and when he went for, just decided that those are the higher quality that we would prefer, are we willing to update the amount of money to accommodate more of those bags for give out? So I just wanted to bring that up as well.
Thank you, Omiye. Yeah, that's my follow-up question is, I guess, associated with that, and is everybody's preferred bag just by individual person, or is there any kind of like more people will use a bag like this? I'm also like not as stuck in as you all are, and the idea that people's issue with the bag ban is that they don't have any bags is just to me. So sorry. I don't know. I love a foldy up bag that can go in everything, but is that just me? Do other people like a different kind? I really don't know if there's any information in the world about that.
Wondering, Chris, could Tobias just give a sentence or two in the email about, like, I'm sure there was research that went into, and maybe that can clear up like some of our questions that we might be, asking anyways.
Or yeah, we could ask these to him directly in an email. I can share what he has given to us. All these questions that we have, which Erica is recording for us now, that will be helpful keeping track of all these great questions, because I've already lost track in this conversation. If we can get those directly to us and him come back to us, I think we'd be more comfortable in making that vote through that email. Does that make sense?
And we have the agility within our bylaws to turn that around very quickly once we have some information that's available to make that decision. And I don't think I'm hearing a lot of like, no, we don't want to do that. It's just, a lot of follow-up questions, if that's correct. So we will get that assembled and get it out to everyone. And is that the last budget item open for discussion today? Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Pretty
And
sure.
if anybody needs, I can reshare the link. So if people want to go in directly to take a look at the budget at all. And I know our next, we're still doing standing budget meetings for anybody. It's not a requirement for anybody that wants to join in. It should be on the 4th of October at 9:30. So if anybody's interested in joining that, and maybe Chris, I can ask you and we can get together just to make sure we have the invoices we need, the paperwork filled out, and just confirming that we have the current amount, like that I have the most up-to-date amount that is still left, so we can actually see what our remaining, because it sounds like even with these additions and probably with the addition of the $1,000 with the reusable bags, we will still have some funding left available through the end of the year. Well, thanks, everybody.
Great.
Sorry, Omaye, for cutting you off when you had your hand up.
I will live. Thank you.
Feel free to smack my hands when I do that. Thank
Done.
you. All right, thanks.
Okay. That was good work. Okay, now it's time for, oh wait, I have to make it be exciting. Okay. Now it's time for member organization updates. Yay!
I'll go ahead and start us off. The Garbage Olympics is in just a little over a week away. It's going to be September 23rd. We're very excited. We have around 40 neighborhood teams signed up so far. So that's probably going to be our final result. If anybody wants to help out on that day, if they're with the closing ceremony at Threadbare, please reach out. We will have roles for everybody. But we're very excited about that coming up. And thank you to everyone for your promotion of the Garbage Olympics. We really appreciate it. And also helping us feed our volunteers with the vote today.
I'm not an organization and I don't know if you have updates. So I'm not going to call on you. You can just duke it out with the unmute button.
I'll do a little update. Unfortunately, I'll be out of town for all of this, but while the Garbage Olympics is happening, we also, that happens to be on the same day as Public Lands Day, which is a national holiday, I guess. And so Public Lands, the store, is having volunteer events really across the country, I think. But here locally, we are doing a cleanup on the north side. So we would welcome so it'll be kind of part of Garbage Olympics, but also part of Public Lands Day. So we welcome folks for that. Also on the 30th, Shauna, let me see this. On the 16th. So in 2 days, we have a cleanup in Sharpsburg on the riverfront. And then tomorrow, cleanup in Hill District, Crawford Roberts, neighborhood litter walk in Stowe Township on the 16th, Carey Street steps cleanup on the 18th. So lots of opportunities to get involved. And then on the 30th, there is a dance and video film, or sorry, a dance film that features information about our organization and Grounded, and just the relationship between I guess the water and health and the environment and dance. So there are dancers that are kind of, I'm not giving a very good description of this, I'm really sorry. But there are dancers that are kind of acting out a relationship to the water and how we engage with the water and the land. So we welcome volunteer people to attend that. There will also be a nature walk. It is at Beechwood Farms on, September 30th. Thanks.
I'm happy to give a short organizational update as well for Humane Action Pittsburgh. I think it would be exciting for everybody to know we are making forward strides with our takeover of the Plastics Collaborative from Sustainable Pittsburgh. So we have officially made a hire for a program manager for that program. He is going to be on a part-time contractual basis for now, but he's going to be starting in his role next week. So as he gets on board, he is really going to be, well, of course, all of the staff at Humane Action Pittsburgh will be involved in the planning and implementation of the Plastics Collaborative, but he will certainly be the lead of it. So since he'll be starting next week, we're going to be finally putting a lot in motion when it comes to actually getting the Plastics Collaborative started up again. We also just got word earlier this week, we got a little bit more grant money for the programming. So a lot of exciting updates for that. So stay tuned, because we'll definitely have more updates as we really get the ground running with that again.
I'll step in with environmental services recycling. Just a couple of updates. We're about halfway through the month. I know we don't like to hear it, but the holiday season is chugging forward. We have basically a month until our next collection of yard debris, and that's going to be November 4th. That's a Saturday, of course. We're going to be doing some promotion starting at the beginning of October to start pushing, to letting people know. So we'll be pushing some of that out through maybe a press release and some other channels. And also we are having a household hazardous waste collection event this weekend, but it is full. But we do have one more this season. That is November 11th, and it's here in the Strip District. You can go to prc.org/Pittsburgh Recycles. I think that's the correct link. I'll make sure it's in our litter newsletter, the newsletter. But there's time to register for that last event on the 11th of November, last HHW collection of the year. But yeah, so that's recycling.
And an awesome shout out to the video, if everybody saw it, that it was at Next Pittsburgh.
Next,
Did the interviewed at the Murph in Hazelwood. It was really, really nice. You did a great job, and they, I think, did a really nice job in just covering the whole process. So if you haven't seen it, everybody should check it out, because it was very good.
Yeah, we also have go ahead, Chris. Oh yeah, we also did a walkthrough with WESA at some point, so that should be coming out as well. So lots of Murph coverage. Hopefully we're getting to a point where we can open up tours as well, because I know a couple of you guys have been asking about them, but baby steps. We just got some new stuff installed, so once we get that process finalized and get them, perhaps we'll have more tours in the future.
The video is Yinzer Backstage Pass with Boaz Frankel. We really want to thank Boaz for a great day and a great video, and we look forward to doing more trash work with him and letting people know what the city does with their recyclables and all that and all their trash, because it was very interesting. That we're very thankful for them for the opportunity.
I mean, also congrats to PRC on their glass design. That was pretty exciting as well. Get that good information out there and help people remember and believe that glass is actually being recycled and handled properly. So congrats to you guys on that one too. But yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks, Omo. Omo has a nice image in the glass scene too. You're like making the rounds there. No,
I'm all over the place. Can't get rid of
You
me.
are all over the place, spreading the gospel of recycling. Keep it up.
Or is that it?
I'm muted. Is last call for member organization updates. Well, gosh, everybody. We hope to see you all at Garbage Olympics or at a different thing that you like to do, cleaning up in the world sometime soon. Make sure and send Chris anything you want to see in the newsletter. And well, holy cats, have a super duper day. Oh, someone else moved to adjourn.
I'll do that.
I second.
Thanks, everybody.